Welcome to today's episode of the DadCast Podcast. I'm your host, Lavelle Lemonnier, and I'm so excited about our topic today. For those who may be listening for the first time, I'd like to give you a little background information about me. First and foremost, I am a Christian man, a husband, a father, a grandfather, business owner, and a proud U.S. Army veteran. I've also taught at the university and college levels, and I am a huge proponent of education. Now, the idea behind this podcast is to give a dad's perspective on everything from A to Z. First of all, let me give a great big hearty thanks to our sponsors, WriteItOut.tech, where you can get all of your academic writing needs met, and by Lemonnier Photography, where we see the world through a different lens. Also, I want to give a special thanks and a great big shout out to my lovely wife, Dr. Gabrielle Lemonnier, who is the co-creator and co-content manager of this broadcast. In the eloquent words of that 1970s sitcom classic, hey, what's happening, folks? This is the third episode of the DadCast Podcast, and bro, do we have a good one for you today. This episode is entitled, Put Yourself Out There, She's Waiting, Overcoming Issues of Confidence. Now, before we get into that dynamic topic, let's start off with our financial tip of the day. I've got to throw this little disclaimer out here. I'm not an investment broker or a financial consultant. I'm just a dad who follows the market and has a background in accounting, finance, and economics, so these tips are purely speculative. Now, with that little bit of business out of the way, let's talk market talk for just a moment. So many of you watched the presidential debate recently, and believe it or not, the markets actually react to things like the debate. Investors don't quite know what to make of this chaotic political scene we are seeing unfold in front of us, and a chief economist said recently after the first debate that the S&P 500 futures were off about 0.5% the day after the debate. Now you might think it's just 0.5%. Well, the reality is that 0.5% of $1 billion market industry is a major drop. The reason I'm telling you this is because the uncertainty of the election that's coming up, coupled with the uncertainty of if the president will leave office voluntarily if he loses, is sure to create a downward motion in the market. That means stock prices may drop. So in plain English, what I'm saying is get your coins together. Go in the cookie jar, under the mattress, in your savings, or wherever you can comfortably find some investment money, and open up a brokerage account and put in $100, $200, $500, $1,000, whatever you can afford to lose, put it in that account, and then sit on pause and watch the market as we near the election. When the stock prices begin to drop considerably, buy as much as you can with what you have. The goal is to buy low and sell high. For more information on this, send me a message and I'll be happy to converse with you about some of these options. All right, now it's time for the dad joke of the day. Are you ready? Here we go. You ready? So you sitting down for this? The difference between a numerator and a denominator is a short line. Only a fraction of the people will understand this. All right. This is a dad joke. Funny to some, not so much to others. And here's our inspirational thought for the day. It comes from Helen Keller. Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. All right, folks, today we are going to discuss a topic that is very important to a lot of people. Research shows that there is a substantial psychological construct that addresses the ideas of self-worth, self-confidence, and socio-cultural emotional health. Now, I know that's a lot of fancy terms and words for those who may not be familiar with this topic. But the reality is that confidence is a major issue in people's lives. And particularly, we're talking about men's lives today, because men many times mask some of the issues that we're dealing with. So our topic today pays particular attention to the issue of confidence. Now, men, brothers, bros, dudes, and homies, listen real close right here. You are under the microscope all the time. Someone is always paying attention to you, for better or for worse. And how you carry yourself is a direct indication of the level of confidence that you're walking in. Okay, let me just make this plain for you. Have you ever seen that woman at church or in the club or at the supermarket that just exudes confidence and high class, and you really noticed her, but you shied away from approaching her? Maybe because you thought she was out of your league, above your pay grade, or in a whole other circle of life. Man, listen, confident women find it difficult to be found. That's right, I said to be found, because a real woman wants to be found by a real man. Yeah, that's right. They often complain that men don't just approach them. Now, I'm not saying to you got to walk up to that woman with every pickup line you can think of. You know, the ones like, hey, baby, you must be tired because you've been running through my mind all day. Or one of those other ones like, excuse me, can you give me directions to your heart? Yeah, all those cheesy pickup lines. No, that's not what I'm talking about. The reality is that pickup lines are really a sign of low confidence. You just have to be yourself and be confident in who you are. Most women love natural confidence in men. Now, I know most men won't want to admit to something like this, but it happens more than we realize. And if you're that guy, it's okay, bro. It's okay. Let me tell you, you're not alone. According to a study in the American Psychological Association, self-esteem, which is a measure of one's subjective thoughts of self-worth, is a well-studied psychological construct. In fact, the study found that males and females display different self-esteem patterns across the lifespan in all sociocultural regions, and that men in particular suffer from more hidden confidence issues than do women. Now, what it boils down to, folks, is that it's really a matter of emotional balance. We see men all the time who are out of balance emotionally, and it shows up in their behavior. They are often over-aggressive in their relationships. They overcompensate for insecurities by being loud, obnoxious, boisterous, rude, and arrogant. They sometimes drink impulsively and act out in social settings. A Men's Health magazine article found that some people with low self-esteem appear very confident, perhaps overconfident, as they try to mask their internal and overly critical monologue. They try to find confidence in things, things like luxury cars, expensive clothing, jewelry, designer this and designer that. But here's the thing. Listen to me very closely right here. Come on, real close to your listening device. Women are not looking for that. They want, at least most of them do, they want a man who can rock a suit from the Burlington Coat Factory as easily as an Armani suit. They want a man who can be proud in his 1999 Corolla. Well, I don't know, maybe a Corolla, but you get the picture. They want someone who, regardless of where they are in life, they are proud and they can clean up whatever they have and take care of it and be proud of it and work toward that next goal. Now, I'm not a counselor or a psychologist, so this is just one dad's perspective on this important topic. But bro, let me tell you, there's a toxic masculinity culture in our society that puts a lot of pressure on men. And low self-esteem is no joke. Maybe you grew up with critical parents. Maybe your parents didn't express affection. Maybe life has dealt you some rough blows. Whatever the cause, you can rebound from low self-esteem and you can be confident in who you are. Now remember this, self-esteem has nothing to do with what we have, how we look, or what we do, but it's really about how we feel about who we are. So what can you do if you're dealing with confidence issues? Here's a few thoughts for you. You need to have some vision. Confident men often have motivation to reach specific goals. So you have to have a vision, write it out, make it plain, and you can achieve it. Be honest with yourself. You got to know your strengths and weaknesses, and don't be afraid to work on your weaknesses and try to improve upon your strengths. You need to take action. You know, they say action speaks louder than words. The same way we strengthen a muscle in the gym is the way we strengthen our confidence. You got to put the work in. You got to take care of yourself. Live a healthy, balanced life. Don't overdo anything. Can I repeat that for you for just a minute? Don't overdo anything. We can overdo all kinds of things. We can overdo going to the gym. We can overdo hobbies. We can overdo church. Oops, did I say that? Yeah, we can overdo church. We've got to do better. We need to eat better. We need to do something that we enjoy that allows us to release some stress. Things like playing golf or going fishing, take a bike ride, go hunting. Just take a ride in your vehicle somewhere out into the country. Put your windows down, relax, listen to your music. Whatever you need to do to decompress. Think positively. Focus on the positive. It doesn't mean that you ignore negative realities, but it does mean that you drive your focus toward positive realities. Lastly, stay open to learning, man. Yeah, a confident man is one that is constantly learning, improving, and evolving. You've got to put yourself in a position where you're always learning about something. You're getting information and you're learning how to apply that information. And when you do that, you start taking steps forward and you take a big chunk out of that elephant, one step, one bite at a time. All right, well, thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the DadCast Podcast. We look forward to hearing from you. Please send in your comments and questions, and we will be sure to cover them on air in the very near future. As always, you can reach us on Instagram at DadCast Podcast, on Twitter at DadCastP. You can email us at comments@dadcastpodcast.com, and you can go to our website, dadcastpodcast.com. If you've enjoyed this show, please share it with those that are close to you, with your friends, your neighbors, your associates, and subscribe to the podcast so that you can get information on our upcoming episodes. Thanks again for listening, and I look forward to talking with you on our next episode. Blessings and peace to each and every one of you. I'm out.